Are we on? Okay, good afternoon, everyone. This is a meeting of the Subcommittee on Local Government and Bi-County Agencies. It is April 1st, and this is not a joke. We are also here with the committee. We have one Senate bill that we just heard in the full committee to discuss. The bill is Senate Bill 820, Senator Watson, Municipalities, Enforcement of Ordinances and Resolutions. There is a House crossfile, but it's still in rules. So depending on what we do today, we'll probably match it up to do the same thing. So we'll start with this discussion on Senate Bill 820. Delegate Foley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I did notice, and to be honest with you, I haven't read the bill text itself that closely. I just scanned it, but I did read in the fiscal note that it mentions one of these violations or misdemeanors or violation of ordinances to be, I guess it's not a misdemeanor, to be littering. And we just passed a bill for Prince George's County with respect to littering. I don't know why I can't say that. And we specified that the fine would go to part of it. It sounds like, as I recollect, part of it would go to the person who videoed the infraction. I just wondered if that's affected by any of this. It may not be, but I just want to make sure.
Okay, well, my impression is that this is for municipal infractions in municipalities on private property. People who are, not maintaining their buildings in the public interest, their health issues. Having been on the city council, I remember many times people talking about, people not keeping their lawns mowed, letting their houses deteriorate, letting dogs, make their backyards dirty and smelly. All kinds of things like that is what I think of when I think of municipal infractions. But I'm going to let Ben directly answer your question about whether the bill that we moved out on littering in Prince George's County has any impact or any interaction with this legislation.
Thank you, Chair Healy. So on that question, Delegate Foley, yeah, there's two provisions that are in the bill. The one provision is 6102. That's the one where it says the legislative body can classify as a municipal infraction littering in the municipality as prohibited under 10110. That is the litter control law that bill that we were talking about that's the same provision. This section of the code, though, 6102. So again, it's saying that they can classify a municipal infraction if someone's littering under that litter law. But that just is the classification. And this bill is really, I'm looking at the bill now, 6102. It's just increasing the fine amount under that. So that's kind of like, it's not really, I think they coexist if,
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Delegate Terrassa. I'm sorry, Delegate Foley, are you finished? Okay, Delegate Terrassa.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So a couple of things. One, and you may have just answered this and I may just have misunderstood, but is this for any littering? Like if I throw a candy wrapper out my window, which I wouldn't do, but if I did, can I get charged $5,000 and face 6 months in prison?
Ben. I don't think so.
So 6102, thank you, Charlie. 6102 is that's just for a fine. And the fine is and it provides that the fine is payable. That code section 10110, which is the state's like illegal dumping and litter law, that has more penalties, including imprisonment. But
so 6102 is just sort of individual littering, like throwing something out of their car or whatever. The 101.
I mean, Delegate Terrassa, I know you were in county government, and you probably saw some of this kind of thing where somebody just lets their house
Absolutely. It's
go
really
to pot in
changed.
all kinds
Yeah.
of ways.
Right. I just want to make sure we're not also covering the person who throws a candy wrapper out the window. That's all I'm trying to make sure I understand. But I completely, I mean, it was just terrible. Like we had a lot of trouble with that. Yes.
And this is, code enforcement's very hard to enforce anyway.
Madam Chair, Delegate Addison is in the waiting room.
Okay, just a minute. I'm gonna ask, Keisha, Delegate Addison is in the waiting room? Okay, she may not have used the right link, maybe? Can you send the link to her again? Okay. Uh, Delegate Addison. Okay, we'll send the link to her again just to make sure she has it, because we don't see her in the waiting room. Okay, Delegate Tarassa, you want to continue?
Well, I was just trying to confirm that what we're looking at for the up to $5,000 fine is for that sort of like letting your property go to pot, as you said. Which I totally appreciate and understand how that impacts neighborhoods. What I don't want to, my concern was that it would also affect you if you threw a
Well,
wrapper
if
out.
I could, I think this piece of legislation just extends to municipalities the same authority that the counties already have. Isn't that right, Ben?
That's correct, Chair Hilly. And if I may, and yes, that's correct. And then the bill is, as everyone probably knows, of course, is just increasing the fine amount that's existing. And then, yeah, I did have
Okay.
another thing to add whenever you're ready to.
So we don't know.
So it's the same as it already exists. All we're doing is raising the fine from 1,000 to 5,000. We're not raising it. We're allowing the locals to use their discretion to raise it up to 5,000 instead of up to 1,000.
And this is just, okay, and then sort of related issue. This is just for municipalities, my understanding, because it confuses me to say up to 5,000 or up to 1,000 or 5,000 for a zoning violation.
This is not zoning. This is municipality. This is code enforcement.
Well, okay, but this says a municipality may classify as municipal infraction. Am I reading the wrong thing? A violation of an ordinance or regulation concerning zoning or land use.
Oh, yeah, this is
This is on the fiscal note. End of the first page.
okay, Ben. This parallels what we have in law now for the counties, isn't that right? Ben?
He's on mute.
Sorry. Thank you, Chair Hilly. I'm not sure about whether it parallels the counties exactly, but it concerns 6102 is the legislative body classifying as an infraction a violation of zoning or land use. And then also the litter law, which does involve disposing of litter on a highway or performing an act that violates the laws regarding disposal of litter on highways, and then also disposing or causing to allow the disposal of litter on public or private property. Just so, yeah.
Does that answer your question? Delegate Tarassa?
Maybe I'm deciding I don't need an answer to my question. I mean, I think I'm fine with it. I just, like in the county, in Howard County, we charge, like, at least at the time I was there, $250 a day for a zoning violation.
Okay,
So I just think maybe it's just different in the municipalities, and I think that's, I guess I'm fine. Thanks.
okay, thank you very much. Delegate Todd Morgan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm sorry I missed the hearing, but I got to sit across the hall for an hour waiting for no one to show up. So we passed this bill before with $1,000 fine. Now they want to increase it to 5,000. And I apologize for not hearing the hearing. What was the justification for going from 1 to 5?
Well, the testimony was that that I don't remember exactly what year it was that the $1,000 limit was put on, but that the impact of inflation, it has become less meaningful, and they want to deter the behavior so that people will take better care of their property when they risk having a higher fine. But again, it's enabling for the local municipalities up to that level.
So it's enabling for municipalities, which I have assumed then will include counties, correct?
Counties are already covered.
Okay, thank you, I'm done.
Okay. Anything else? Oh, I'm sorry, Delegate Davis.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I remember something from the hearing that said that it did not apply to Charles County as a code home rule county. Do you remember that, Ben? Is that correct?
And
I remember that being discussed. I'm not sure if like that's exactly what was said. But regarding counties, I know that this is, if it's helpful, yeah, focused on municipalities. But I can definitely like look
Well,
into
well, that
more.
leads to my second question. If it doesn't apply to my county, does it apply to my municipalities?
I believe so. Yeah,
Okay,
I can look into that more though and send you an email.
thank you.
any other questions? Any questions for anybody? Okay, that being said, is there a motion on the Senate bill?
Move the Senate bill, Madam Chair.
And
Second.
it's been
Second.
moved and seconded. All those in favor of Senate Bill 820 signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, please say no. Okay, okay,
No.
okay, I'm gonna let you go back and say your name so that we can get it recorded correctly, okay?
Thank you.
I'm gonna call your names as I see them, but if there's anybody else at the end of that, certainly go ahead. But I see Delegate Jacobs, Delegate Baker, Delegate Morgan. Anyone else? That looks like it. Okay, so it's one, so what's the count, Ben?
That was 3 votes nay, Chair Healy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you? I'm not sure about the yay vote.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 7 to me.
Including you, yes, Chair Healy. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, then then the ayes have it, and that bill will be in front of the full committee at the next voting session. And that concludes our business today, and hopefully we will not be meeting again